Welcome to the HVAC Business Growth Podcast. Is your business getting beaten by the competition or your profits dwindling? It's time to kickstart your HVAC business. Here's your host, Nick Balowski.
Hello everybody, welcome to the HVACBusinessGrowth.com podcast. I'm your host, Nick Balowski. It's great to have you listening today. The topic for today's podcast is video marketing. We actually spoke in a recent news video a lot about video marketing and how it's been taking the web by storm, basically. Obviously, video marketing isn't all that new, but it's one thing that I truly believe now that you just can't ignore in your business. So let's go over a couple of the stats. We're going to really focus today on YouTube in particular. So YouTube is, at this stage, the third most trafficked website in the world. And it's owned by Google as well. So if you want to get in Google's good books, then it's probably a good idea to post and play around in YouTube as much as you can. So YouTube itself gets 800 million unique visitors per month. So that's quite a lot of traffic, as you can imagine, and that's how it hits the figure of the third biggest site in the world. So 72 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every single minute. Every single minute, 72 hours of video is uploaded. So that's absolutely massive. So there's a lot of content going on there. So it's a big traffic channel. YouTube's also being used in 43 countries and is published or created in 60 different languages. So if you are not from the US or the UK or Australia, or one of the, I guess you could say, Western countries or mainstream countries, and you're not quite sure whether video marketing is for you, that might answer your question. You might fall into one of those 43 countries there that video marketing and YouTube in particular is so popular. And keeping with the trend of mobile devices and mobile phones, 20% of the views on YouTube actually come from mobile devices. So we're talking about iPads, iPhones, Android devices, those sorts of things. So that figure is growing every single month. So again, the message comes through on the videos like it always does, but if you're not doing some sort of mobile marketing, then you really need to start to have a look at it as soon as you can. So video marketing is highly linked to social media as well. So on Facebook in particular, every day, 500 years of YouTube video are watched every day. So there's a lot of sharing going along on Facebook. You might see it in your threads. How many people are posting videos on their Facebook timelines just out of your friends that you see every day? It's probably quite a few people. And on Twitter, 700 videos a minute are shared on Twitter. So video is just super popular right now. And it just integrates with social media so well. So if you can create videos, then it's probably pretty fair to say that people are going to share the videos that you create on the internet, and that's really important. So you create a video and then it's going to get shared around and distributed into all sorts of different media channels that you probably can't even track. Some of this stuff gets spread so far and wide. Hopefully now you're understanding how big video marketing is, and in particular YouTube. So the question is, where do you start? I think everybody in this day and age, particularly if you're running a heating and cooling business, you need to have video on your landing pages. So when I'm talking about landing pages, I'm talking about the main pages on your website that people are actually visiting. So if you've got a page about hydronic heating or split system air conditioning or ducted air conditioning or whatever it is, I think you should have a video on all of your main landing pages. It's been proven that conversions actually improve when you've got video on the page, and people actually stick around on the pages and on the site a lot more because video is so watchable. Just remember, people are very visual with how they learn and how they interact. So if you've got a video on your website, people are interested, they're going to at least watch some of the video and they're going to stick around. So the big question is as well, what types of video can you have on your landing pages on your site? So really popular is actually having face to camera type of video. So that's just basically where you set the camera up and you just stand in front of it and deliver some content. So if you've been lucky enough to see any of the news videos that I've been producing, hint hint, they're face-to-camera videos. So I just have a script set up and I'm just standing in front of the camera and delivering the content. Also pretty popular and easy to do for people who don't like standing in front of the camera is actually setting up a slideshow or a PowerPoint presentation. So those familiar with the Microsoft Office products, that's for the PC users listening. PowerPoint is fantastic because you can actually create the PowerPoint and then just using screen capture software like Camtasia, which costs around $300, or Jing is actually free for doing 5-minute and under videos. You can actually video yourself talking into a microphone or just talking into the inbuilt microphone on your computer and going through the PowerPoint or the slide presentation. So that's a really simple way of doing videos. And obviously within your PowerPoints you can integrate images and little videos and that sort of thing as well. Demonstrations can be very handy as well. Depends on what sort of products that you're offering within your business, but demonstrations can be good as well. If you might have a special tip or something that you've got about how to clean a vent on a certain system, or how to make sure that a certain air conditioner is actually working, you can do a video demonstration. It might only go for a couple of minutes, but that might be really handy for somebody who is looking for some help with a particular unit, and then they can determine for themselves whether they actually need to call you in to get a service. And the great thing with doing demonstrations is because you are basically giving away information for free, people actually feel a little bit of gratitude towards you, in that if they have a problem, they're more than likely going to come to you. Some other types of video that works quite well are actually doing interviews. So there's a variety of ways you can do it. You can actually just do a one-on-one interview with somebody in front of a camera, or you can actually interview them just over Skype or anything like that and just take the audio recording and then just roll some images in over the top of that. It's very easy to do. It's something that you could actually do, again, if you're a PC user, which most people are. That's something that you could easily do in Movie Maker, I think it is. That's the free software within Microsoft Windows. A Q&A, or a frequently asked question type of video, is something that I think works absolutely fantastic, and it was actually the tip of the week in last week's episode, where you would pick maybe 20 of the top questions that are related to your business or your industry, and you'd get on there and do one video answering every single question that there is out of the 20, and then just market and release those videos on a set schedule. So that works quite well. Explanations are quite a new thing, and they look fantastic when they're produced, but they're really time consuming and difficult to put together, and hence they can be quite costly. So if you don't know what explanations are, they are basically cartoons with a voiceover over the top. So the cartoons are actually moving and there's a voice over the top of the cartoons actually explaining what is going on. So like I said, these look really, really good when they're done, but they're super expensive to produce. So they're the main types of videos that you can use in your marketing, but more specifically, I think on your landing pages. So I would probably start maybe with the face-to-camera type of thing, or maybe even the slideshow PowerPoint type of presentation. That can work quite well. So pricing for videos. Like I said before with the Explanimations, pricing can be very expensive and can often go into the tens of thousands of dollars, because sometimes you need somebody that's got 3D animation skills, and those people just aren't walking around on the street. That's quite a specialized skill set, having 3D animation experience. Some companies like Animoto, which is, I'll spell it out for you, it's Animoto, actually creates a video for you with some images that you give them, and then put some music over the top of it. So that's actually a free thing. So obviously it's very inexpensive, a service like Animoto. Also, really the face-to-camera type of videos or the interviews are really just the cost of the equipment and your time. So the production cost actually isn't all that expensive. So that's why I think it's a great place to start. I think that was a perfect segue into actually talking about equipment. So obviously, if you're going to do your own videos, you need your own video camera. Believe it or not, you can actually shoot some really good video with just the iPhone or any mobile phone. The picture quality in those cameras and the sound is actually coming out really good, and there's actually cheap courses online about how to do video with your iPhone. I think one is called iPhone Video Hero. I actually haven't gone through the course myself, but I hear it's quite good about how to do good quality video with your iPhone. The news videos that I do, they're actually just shot with a Kodak ZI-10 camera, so it's actually a quite small camera which you can hook a microphone into, so it's nothing extravagant at all. If you want to go a little bit more professional, the Canon 60D camera is a very, very good camera to use as well. It's probably got a few more settings as far as light and those sort of things and lenses go versus the cheaper Kodak type of model. So there's some options for you. I think with video, sound is probably one of the most important things. People can actually tolerate slightly less than ideal image quality or video quality, but sound is a bit of a deal breaker, I think. If you're not too sure about what you're going to invest in and you're sitting on the fence, sound would be probably one of the things where you'd probably lean to spending a little bit more money in terms of getting good quality sound. So things like getting lapel microphones or wireless microphones or shotgun microphones or whatever, it's something that I think you should look into. For example, I'm using a Blue Snowball microphone for doing this podcast, and when I'm doing my videos, I'm using a wired lapel mic, not wireless, it's wired. It's actually why with some of those videos you sort of only see me talking from the waist up, because I've got a wire sort of going between my legs. But I think the sound that it delivers, particularly outside, there's lots of natural noises happening, lots of birds flying past and those types of things, so it gives a good quality sound. And it's actually quite windy where I'm from as well, so the sound quality, I think, coming from a microphone like that is pretty good. So light is another consideration. Natural light's the best place to start, I feel. I've got lighting kits and those sorts of things, and they're quite difficult to set up and get right, and you can actually spend quite a fair bit of money trying to get a good lighting set up, and it takes up a lot of room. So if you don't have a lot of room in your office, it can be quite difficult to get a good lighting set up. So just head outside or just use natural light. It can work quite well. So I think the big tip, though, is to make sure that you're actually creating good quality productions. You used to be able to just slap together a video off your phone or a cheap camera without any microphones or anything like that. It doesn't really cut it anymore. So if you can, use the best camera that's available, spend some money on getting some good quality microphones, or use a service that actually has this equipment. That's the other thing that you could do. And actually spend some time in putting a good quality production together. So actually putting title screens in your videos and fade-ins and fade-outs, and just the special effects and those sorts of things really help add the production value and add the perceived value of what you're actually doing to the customer. So I think that's all I've got as far as the equipment side of things goes. So now I want to move on to inbound video marketing. So a lot of the stuff that we spoke about then was really about the pages on your website and how you can improve conversions by doing things like face to video or face to camera. So inbound video marketing, really the focus is on YouTube. That's the primary channel. So obviously you should get yourself a YouTube channel for your business. So ideally, whatever your business name is, it might be, say it's New York Heating and Cooling, you would try and get a YouTube channel called New York Heating and Cooling. That just helps with the branding side of things. Don't worry about keywords or anything like that in your YouTube channel. Just go for the branding type of approach. So in terms of getting traffic to your website or getting traffic to your offer, video ads seem to be working quite well in YouTube. You might notice if you watch any YouTube videos at the moment, you'll see some ads come up at the start of your videos, which you can actually skip, but they're actually interesting to watch in terms of the sorts of things that people are advertising. So particularly if you're in the residential market, nearly everybody is going to be, or could possibly be, a customer of yours. Most people in most cities have some sort of heating or cooling system in their home, so they might either be looking for a new system or they need a service of their existing one. So it might be worth investigating, doing some sort of video ads inside of YouTube. Might be worth checking out. So other inbound video marketing techniques you can use are the Q&A type of things that we spoke about before. So you can obviously put those on your website, and you can put them on YouTube as well, linking back to your website. So if somebody has a particular question about a Fujitsu cooling system or whatever the brand is, they might go onto YouTube, or they might search in Google for an answer. And usually if there is a good quality video about a question like that, Google will serve that up probably somewhere on the first page. It might not be number one, but as we know, when we're searching on Google, if we see a video, it really draws our attention. That thumbnail on the page that you can see, and it gets a really, really good click-through rate. So the Q&As are fantastic. You can answer a lot of questions on there, and you might only get a trickle of traffic coming through, so you might not get much traffic, but obviously if people have a problem, they want an answer to it, and that traffic that you can get is literally priceless. It's a very, very targeted lead that would be coming into your website. You at least know that they're interested. So news videos, which again, they're the things that you see me doing, usually outside. I think I might have done one inside. So the news video approach is just basically you act as a news reporter in your particular market that you've got. So if there's any breaking news or any new product releases that come out, create a daily, weekly, monthly news video that lets the customers know or the market know what's actually happening inside your industry. That's a fantastic authority builder, and I think they're quite simple to do. Interviews are great as well, where if there is a respected person within your industry or a respected brand, you can actually hijack their credibility, so to speak. So if you could potentially score an interview with the president or chief executive of a major air conditioning or heating company, you can actually leverage off their profile. So you might only be the person asking the basic questions about a particular service or heating system, but because you're doing the interview, you actually leverage off the authority of that person, and it actually portrays you in a much better light. So an interviewing technique is fantastic, and it's not difficult at all to sit down with somebody and have a 20 or 30 minute conversation, and in terms of content on the internet, it works quite well. Testimonials are one thing that I really think you should be doing. Text testimonials at the moment are very common, but video testimonials I think are the way to go. More difficult to get, but if you can get your happy customers to give testimonials and do them on video, then you can put them on YouTube, you can put them on your site, you can literally put them anywhere, and they don't look as forced. They are quite credible, I think, because somebody is actually given the time to be able to get up on camera and deliver a nice positive message. So I think a little bit more credibility goes along, or it's more believable, I think, when people deliver a video testimonial. And they can be great for getting inbound traffic into your site. So it almost helps if people see a testimonial about your business away from your website, they're almost pre-sold before they get there. So it actually improves or enhances the information that's on the website, because people are already warming to your products and services and your ideas. Okay, so now it's time for the HVAC Business Growth Tip of the Week. So this week's Tip of the Week is to put a video onto your homepage of your site if you haven't already done it. So the great thing about putting video onto your site is it's obviously a multimedia type of content. People are really, really engaged with video. Once they see it, they just can't help but clicking on the video. So you need to create a video, put it on your homepage. A face-to-camera video, I think, is fantastic. Start with anywhere between 30 seconds and 2 minutes, and just get up there and Tell people what you're about and what you offer. The unique selling proposition we've spoken about before in direct marketing. Get up there and just telegraph your offer in front of the camera, and you'll be amazed at how many people are actually watching the video and following your call to action. So why should you do that? Why should you follow the tip of the week? Well, you want to be ahead of the competition, don't you? Think about your competition. How many of them have video on the homepage? So if you can do this, you're going to get a fantastic jump on your competition, and you're going to be a leader in the market. Okay, so that's all we have time for today on the HVAC Business Growth Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Bilowski. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.
This has been another edition of the HVAC Business Growth Podcast. For more marketing tips and strategies, go to the website hvacbusinessgrowth.com.